Alright, folks. Welcome to another episode of Mutterings. Unfortunately, we have to start this one with another tribute because these things keep happening. We lost the fantastic James Earl Jones recently.
The legendary
I
James
mean,
Earl
the guy
Jones.
was everything from Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. The first Conan movie is a fantastic villain, Tulsa Doom, and of course the voice of Darth Vader and the evil wizard Omadon in the lesser known Flight of Dragons cartoon.
Doom,
Exactly.
doom.
And we lost Peter Renaday, who most people will know as the voice of Master Splinter from the old 80s TMNT cartoon, which is also very sad. And then we lost another comic great, which I will let my brother here discuss that one.
We lost John Cassaday. And I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, Cassaday, but
It
I'm
might be
probably wrong.
Cassidy, I'm not sure. It depends if
But
they pronounce it that way.
he worked on things such as Planetary, um, number of different other elements. I believe he did the art for, oh god, I just forgot the oh god, what was he? Whatever. He
I know he
did the
worked on
art
the
for
early
a
2000s
number.
X-Men too, so yeah.
He did in the early 2000s X-Men's, Planetary, and a whole host. The Shadow.
Shadow, there we go.
He did the one art for some of the Shadow, I believe.
So just
The man,
another sad day.
and he died way too young at 52. So
Oh,
we've
jeez.
lost a fantastic human being in Sam. We've lost a comic great where, you know what, even if his art wasn't up to the same standard, it was still a massive loss in Cassaday. And we lost Master Splinter. This is just a bad
It's been a
time.
rough couple of months. We've lost a lot of
As you get
industry
older,
greats.
this is what happens. Kids, get used to it.
But
So let's move on to some of that industry news, huh?
moving on from that, we will start with a topic which my brother has covered on his channel already, but I felt the need to chime in, and that is
And you can
in
find
the
it on
era
Mr. Nobody Presents, just so you know.
in the era of everybody bitching about paid DLC, which I don't have an issue with paid DLC when it's good so much as I do with nickel and dime gotcha kind of DLC, because even gotcha has a place as long as you have self-control. It's the nickel and dime for nothing kind of DLC that bugs the shit out of me. And of course, we know, for an example, that Hasbro was pulling a big boner with that, with their whole fucking D&D 1
Boner.
thing, which nobody wants and nobody's interested in D&D 1 as a result is kind of tanking the whole concept. Well, Games Workshop, as my brother has predicted in the past along with some other people, is still trying to find a way to milk that cash cow until it's an emaciated husk.
It's
So
what they're
they've
best at.
decided with their Kill Team boxes, apart from canceling a shitload of lines of their miniatures,
14 kits.
which is fucking preposterous,
Now,
that
we
they're
don't
introducing. Oh,
know,
go ahead, you
I
first.
will add a little context. We don't know if those are going to be leaving, because some of them are for the regular 40K game, so we don't know if
Mm-hmm.
those ones are being discontinued or if they're just being discontinued for the Kill Team
Kill Team
format.
stuff, yeah.
But please continue.
But that's the Kill Team thing, and they've taken a bunch of rules and ideas, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna season pass this shit. We're gonna, season DLC our shit. So what they've decided to do is they're going to have a 4-year period, which is give or take, by the way. They've even admitted that they may change it on a whim if they think something isn't good enough. But you get 4 years of a product line, basically, a line of miniatures.
Would you like me to read the statement?
If you want to read the statement,
Well,
go ahead.
let's drop that up on the screen, and I'll go from from now on. Every kill team will receive consistently updated rules for 2 editions. That means about 6 years, kid, because GW always does a new edition every 3. Updates will be
Oof.
quarterly, so you'll get 4 updates a year, while smaller adjustments may be made as required. Every team will remain in the product range for 4 full seasons. A season is 12 months, though they can be longer or shorter as required. This is to ensure a manageable range that we can keep in stock.
Sure it is.
So, do you want me to go into what I have a problem with this
Go
in?
ahead, because I like. I
Okay.
have a problem with the whole thing. You should not be like season passing miniatures and then discontinuing entire lines because time to sell the new thing.
Well, the first thing is this is a straight up admission that they are overproducing teams and they can't manage the production to keep them all in thing. Plus, they can't manage the rules balancing for that many teams.
Ugh.
So that means that they just intend to continue at this pace of production for teams, and nothing's going to change. So you're going to see this every year. You're going to see large swaths get cut out. The other element is, if you know nothing about it, Warhammer 40k's basic test bed is Kill Team. If they're going to do something in 40k, they try it in Kill Team first.
Oof.
And this War Cry is very similar in this regard for Age of Sigmar.
Oh.
So effectively, I see this as a trial balloon where they're going, hey, let's see if we can get people to swallow this poison pill here, then bring it over to 40k, and then they can do churn even faster. Because I believe as we get closer to 2030, that they are starting to try to move completely out of the miniatures market in time and go right to a media company. And the reason being is that's
I don't
around the
think that's a good
time
idea.
I believe 3D printing will just be so easy and ubiquitous that they're not going to be able to maintain.
Well, and like it or hate it for the hardcore Games Workshop fans, we've also seen them time and time again try to go after 3D printing, and they haven't been especially successful with it.
Well, there's a lot of people who scoff at the idea of 3D printing actually affecting it, but they sound a lot like the people who were the horse buggy whip people who
Uh,
never thought the car would take off. And it's like in time, the technology and it's getting better. If you look at some of the newer 3D printers, they're insane.
yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to a point where it's going to be like one of those little Japanese toy machines where you click it and it just pops out on the other side. You're going to be dealing less and less with the hazardous materials. It's going to be easier and easier and
Well,
easier.
we've already seen 3D printing technology make some pretty big strides in the short period of time it's been
It's
out.
already on par with all of Games Workshop's
So it's going to reach a
models.
point eventually where there's less waste product to deal with, less venting issues, etc., etc.
So I
So
feel that this is a thing they plan on using for the next 6 years to churn out as much as they can, flood the market, try to keep the sales up, and try to push into the media end of things. It's the reason also why they've made deals with Amazon, because there's no real point to them making a deal with Amazon.
well, apart from third-party marketing, I mean, because they do get a
It
share of that, but
what I mean in that regard is the benefit to them only exists in trying to move into the media
yeah.
market. It has no other benefit because Amazon does not produce toys.
Well, there's a bigger point to this too, in that there have been, quotes and shit that's come out in gaming news in the past where Games Workshop has admitted that they want to move more into media company,
Yeah,
fucking
they don't
things.
want to be a models company.
They don't really want to be a miniatures
Oops,
company
sorry
anymore.
about
They're
that.
trying to become a licensed media company.
They want to get away from the nerd stuff that they obviously hate, and that's also why you're seeing stuff in Call of Duty
Yeah,
and other
or
areas.
the fact that there were World of Tanks like freaking
World of Tanks, World of
connections.
Shit. There's
They
a
had a
whole
thing
bunch
where
of
they had like the Battle Sister and the Space Marine, the World of Tanks, and they had the fucking Imperium tanks in it. I don't
there's a
remember what models they
whole
were.
load of different stuff, but that is effectively one of the big things in that regard. But
So
let's
getting back
move
to the kind of the
on.
matter at hand, it's like the whole issue is that yeah, they are planning to nickel and dime piecemeal stuff, get rid of whole lines and kill team, and like you said, whether it happens or not, it is proven in the past to be a test bed for them to do things in 40K as the mainline 40K products. When they do something in Kill Team, if they think it worked out properly, it usually gets transitioned into 40K.
Well, you flood the market, you look more interesting than you normally would. You go, look at all this stuff and all this purchases in stock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get people to throw money down and you move into the media end of
Because at the end
things
of the day,
because
yes, they need the customers, but they're also still catering to the DEI investors, and they're still catering to just their general investors and shareholders. So the
well,
more they look successful financially, the better their shareholders like it.
and point blank, if you want to get people to license your product out,
It
because
has to be successful.
it has to be seemingly ubiquitous so that people will put that money down to get that
Yeah.
license, and then
Most
as that starts
companies aren't
to,
going to purchase a license for a product that doesn't sell.
it's the Disney strategy.
Yeah.
It's get other people to pay you for doing nothing.
So that's the general gist of it, and people are going to disagree. There's plenty of people that defend GW kind of vehemently that don't really see the problem, and
Who,
like,
oddly enough, I have been arguing to get better
yeah.
products and to keep product around
Well,
for them,
Northern
but
Exile and Outer Circle have both argued in the past they don't understand why when they try to do things that are more beneficial to the fans and players of the hobby that they get chewed out so often, and it's a question that will never
because they
be
want to live in
answered.
denial.
Yeah, because either you don't want to admit there's a problem, you don't see the problem, or you're just a little too eager to defend the corporation that doesn't like you. Either
Okay,
way, it's a little messed up.
so let's hit up that next
Now, the
topic.
next thing I want to preface with because I know I'm going to get some accusations in the comments because this happens every time we talk about something that is very
Is
specific.
is this the
I am
PS Pro?
Yes. Now let me get
Okay.
to this first. I am not an exclusive Sony fanboy. I own an Xbox. I own a Switch, and I own this PS5. Before that, I owned a PS4, a PS3, an Xbox 360. Blah 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 blah. I go where the games I want and the content tends to be, and that's how there is to it. So when I saw this announcement thing for the PS5, I saw both the stupidity of the thing itself, and
Yeah.
then the idiocy around the people arguing about it. Okay, so let's start with the basic issue. The PS5 Pro is a trash fire,
Oh, it's one of the dumbest moves I've seen in a
and
while.
they're already getting massive backlash at it. Oh, so a while back,
So
for those of you who don't know, Xbox tried to push this diskless all digital content version of the Xbox One, and they got clowned hard because even with some of the people who were obsessed with digital media, it didn't go over that well because a lot of people still wanted to have physical games or be able to play their physical games on the console. And at the time, Sony clowned them with their marketing strategy thing where they made fun of how you could do game sharing, where they had a guy take a PS4 disc, hand it to another guy, and then just walk away.
well, I think this comes down to a really simple thing: is Sony having moved their headquarters to California.
California
So
is
you
a
have the
massive detriment.
dumbest idiots possible, and I know that's a double negative, but here's my kind of thing on it. Well, one, it seems stupid.
Well, hell, I haven't even finished the issue
Uh,
yet.
Two, I had considered it before I had heard anything, mostly because I do a lot of editing, and sometimes when I'm doing some of the
You were looking for the faster speed and shit, which
and
I
some of
kind of get, but
because I like Share Factory
yeah.
when I'm doing basic editing to gameplay.
As an editing program,
So
Share
that
Factory is brilliant because it's easy to use, it's relatively simple, and you don't have to have a bunch of extra bullshit to deal with it.
so that's what I had looked at, but it's just it's a product for nobody.
So I'll explain this. The PS5
Oh,
Pro, excuse me, is a quote unquote upgraded processor which plays only digital content games. It has no disk drive, so you can't play your PS5 disc games on it. Which, considering a lot of people have moved back into wanting to maintain physical media, that's a no-sell for a lot of people, and everybody's been clowning on it. Somebody at Sony USA thought they were being clever, and like, oh, well, there's an option for a disc version. You just have to pay $80 more for this portable fucking disc drive that you can fucking attach to it.
which
So
completely.
we're trying to pull a Sega CD here in
Oh,
2024.
oh, I just saw the Christmas tree of doom in my head when you said that. But it's a stupid move, and like I said, it's a product for nobody.
Sony is
Because
getting clowned appropriately and ratioed all the hell on the announcement trailers and shit. And let's be real, nobody but the hardest core dumb fanboys are gonna buy this PS5 Pro shit. And as many people who are already shitting on it as a concept, yeah, it ain't going nowhere. And what's probably gonna happen, and I'll get to why was complaining to somebody else about this and why I explained my non-console bias thing, is
okay,
that nobody's going to buy it. Everybody's clowning on it because it's a dumb idea and nobody wants to pay extra for something that should be on the console. And what's probably going to happen is just like when they announced that all digital Xbox console, barely anybody bought it. It was kind of a flop and nobody
it'll
even talks about it
it'll have a
anymore.
revision where they add in the disc drive.
Yeah, they'll revise it later and be, oh, well, here's the PS5 Pro with the integrated disc drive, and they'll pretend like that didn't happen, just like Microsoft did. Now, what I came into an issue, and my brother's going to chime in on this too, is when all the immediate PC fanboys, and obviously, you know, if you know me at all, I own two fucking PCs, okay? One of them is my desktop, which has been upgraded multiple times over and over again to keep up with shit. And then I have the newer gaming laptop, which is what I usually run my Guild Wars and shit on for the channel. So I'm no stranger to PC gaming, but I am not a PC gamer. I prefer to do my stuff on consoles because it's simpler, it's quicker, and there's less shit I gotta worry about, and I don't have to worry about constant upkeep. So I upgrade my PC as I need to pragmatically for editing and etc. and all that bullshit, or for my writing or for my books.
Okay.
So I saw this flood of people when this PS5 Pro announcement came out going, well, now everybody should just PC game because you could just make a gaming PC for the same price as getting the PS5 with with the disc drive on it. And I saw just the cynicism there and just the shitty behavior. And it's the same sad, shitty behavior I see when PC gaming purists want to shit on console gamers. It's that same stupid console wars bullshit.
Well, let's put it like this, and I'm going to call it in a very honest way that's very nice and respectful.
Yeah.
They like to call themselves the PC master race. Now, as a person who started out PC gaming,
So
I
did
know very
I.
much about them, but I'm going to call a
Oh
lot of
shit.
you out on this regard. You guys gave up property rights. You're not a master race. You're serf.
I mean, the way I want to put it
You're
is, I
the
guess you could.
PC serfdom.
Yeah,
You don't
because
own
you
anything.
PC gamers and I want to, the hardcore PC Steam or die motherfuckers are the ones that sold us out on PC physical media.
Yeah, I remember because I was around when Valve
Yeah,
first
so
started.
so were we. And
But
it's like, yeah, this is your fault. It's the reason we can't get physical media hardly at all on PC anymore.
first
And
off,
most people want physical media nowadays. So
well,
that's the
first off,
inherent weakness of the PC
I really
argument.
disagree with any of the stupid this fanboy or that fanboy thing because I think it's
Yes.
just stupid.
It's
It
very
You should
limiting.
be just a gamer first, and it should be
Yeah.
a matter of you getting a good product, not because I use X branded thing or that branded thing. And don't even try that, PC guys. I already know there's a lot of Nvidia, AMD, and so on
Yeah, my God,
fanboyisms.
yeah, we've seen that too.
So we really need to move away from that because it's about getting a good product for everybody who does
Everybody.
this stuff.
It should be about gamers, not
But
the fucking bullshit with console versus PC. I lived through the console wars, dickheads. Okay, I know how that works, and it was dumb
I
back then.
I've lived through 5 of them. But effectively, this is a dead end product as far as I'm concerned. It
Oh,
doesn't
it's
have
absolutely a dead end
any
product.
appeal. It changes nothing, and it ignores the reasons why a lot of people
Got into
uh,
console gaming because they don't want to deal with this
well, why
shit.
a lot of people maintained it in an age where, and I'm going to give this to the folks who are on that side, when you could make a really cheap gaming computer that could play a lot of this stuff. The thing is, it ignores that desire to own
Yeah.
at least something
And a
physical.
lot of us who maintain consoles do it because we do prefer having the physical fucking
I
media.
miss the big box games.
Me too. So do I. It's why back before 3D Realms got super stupid, we went out of our way to get that big box version of Ion Fury that had, at least it had it on like that really cool thumb drive, and you had unlimited installs of the game on that drive.
So yeah, it's not a good product.
It's a terrible idea. It's dumb as hell, and Sony's gonna walk it back sooner or later. They're gonna try to pretend like it's a good idea. They're getting ratioed to hell. People are making fun of Sony USA on all over social media,
But
and eventually they're gonna Microsoft that shit and just put out a version with the disk drive in it and pretend nothing happened.
I
But it's
think
not a Sony exclusive
we've
issue, you know.
belabored this topic enough at this point.
So it's just stupid in general, and everybody
So
has equal
let's
measure in that.
so let's end it with a feel good topic for everybody. No matter
We
where
have
you
one.
sit on any of these things, PC serfdom, console serfdom, whatever your stance is, I think we can all join hands and sing together in peace and harmony at Ubisoft having an absolutely bad couple months.
Oh boy, the fact that Ubisoft's apparently been getting investor calls
Oop, sorry about
because
that.
they were bragging all this big game about how great Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed not Odyssey. That one wasn't great either, but it was better than the new one. Assassin's Creed Shadows were going to be, as they caused all these divisive arguments, and Outlaws came out after all their race baiting bullshit with freaking Shadows, and it's buggy and it's it's underdone, or as Civi would say, raw.
It's raw.
It's
There you
raw.
go.
Come on, yeah. Just Gordon Ramsay that shit. But it is. I've seen people playing it. I've watched streams of people I know playing it or that I watch, and it's bad. It looks like a early gen cheap PS4 game running on the PS5 for no apparent fucking reason. It's not very well done. The story's lackluster. The characters are not interesting. And as a Star Wars game, it's just boring as hell.
Maybe I can put my simplistic view on it.
Yeah.
But when you piss all over your customers, you do everything you can to go, you're not welcome here, from having a hidden activist voice actress to
Uh,
uglying up the character to using a
Deliberately, yeah.
broken game engine to effectively relying on all these places to tell everybody who said anything even slightly negative that they were bigots or whatever, and
And this kind of
you
leads to the larger
you
issue of the fact
ruin
that,
your ability to sell things and be successful. There is
well,
no reason
Ubisoft
for all of this divisiveness when they could actually take the criticism and use it to make a better product.
Ubisoft put themselves under a microscope.
But they're French. They're going to rebel
So I mean,
against everything you
and
say.
the CEO of Ubisoft is a belligerent jackass who refuses to listen to anyone because he thinks he's a fucking genius. So he
Is this
put
the
the
same
company
CEO
under a microscope.
that was a sex pest?
I don't
I can't
remember.
remember. Or was he the one that enabling the sex pest? I
I
can't
forget.
remember.
I don't remember what the whole scandal was about that dumb shit. But the fact of the matter is, he runs the company like shit.
Well,
And now apparently it's coming home to roost because they've been getting some very unpleasant calls from their investors, by all accounts, demanding to know what the fuck they're doing.
well, when you spend years making as much DLC as you can shove into something,
Everything's always online, fucking live service bullshit, which has been more and more of a push
well,
against in gaming.
like
And
Val-
Ubisoft tried to push it harder.
like Valhalla, effectively you
Oh
almost
god, yeah.
needed to have the level boost to get into the final
Yeah, because
area.
doing the end game was next to
Um,
impossible.
that shitting all over the British.
Yeah.
Then, as you've moved on, you've spent all this time rankling the sensibilities of your potential customers
Yeah.
and resolving nothing. And it's like, instead of going, hey, we hope you enjoy this, we're going to focus on fun, you spend all this time preaching at people, making unappealing characters, trying to so obviously drain the wallets
And
of
then you
people buying your
also
stuff.
Not only that, but then you deliberately stir up the online activists so they'll go and attack anybody that criticizes your stupid products.
And then you say things like people need to get used to not owning their games.
Yeah. Or you spit out things like, well, we want all our digital games to cost $70 and we're just waiting for some other company to do it so we have an excuse. It's not also a smart thing to say when the economy is as bad as it is.
And it's not a smart thing to say ever when you're basically saying, well, screw our customer, pay
Yeah,
us more.
we want you to pay us double what a digital game is worth, but now we want you to pay us triple.
So I'm just going to say this. Ubisoft deserves every bit of bad will, spite, and failure that they have set themselves up for because no one else has done this to them. No secret cabal of evil fans, no turning of the media. They did this to themselves when you shit in the plate of your customers. And they deserve the failure they're getting. And honestly, they will not be missed because of how spiteful they are towards people who would potentially buy their games.
Well, they used to have a lot more fans than they did, but then they fucked up Rainbow Six Siege, they lied to people, they gaslit people, they attacked gamers, then they fucked up Assassin's Creed over and over
And
again.
let me finish it with this. If you want an experience that's similar to a Ubisoft game, that has a lot of those hallmarks and isn't buggy like it, let me point to Rise of the Ronin.
True.
So if you're interested in those games, there you go, guys. It does all of it and better.
And I think that's all we got time for today. Hope you enjoyed us going on a rant several times over. That's what these episodes are for.
Hey, let
And
us know what you agree
yeah,
with, what you don't agree with, and hey, if you have another opinion, write it down in the comment section. I like to actually, especially if you can give us more context, maybe we
yeah.
missed something.
If you have
We'll.
something that we got wrong or that there's some other part we didn't cover,
Hey,
feel free to
context is a
share it.
good thing. We're not always right,
No, we're definitely not always right.
but hope you all have a fantastic week.
See you guys later.
Rest in peace, legends.
Yeah. Bye bye.